Hello and welcome, I'm Kira Scribner, and today I'm going to react to the Carol Shields Shortlist. Carol Shields is a prize that started last year and I really enjoyed following it. It's a prize that's very similar to the Women's Prize, but it highlights people from both Canada and the United States, and I love that as a Canadian. I love seeing books that I can get. You barely ever see a prize list that has more than one Canadian author if it is not also a Canadian prize. So this is really lovely. Carol Shields is a 20th century author that was born in the United States, then immigrated to Canada. So she is an author that celebrated both American and Canadian fiction and really celebrated women's fiction as well. I read 4 out of the 5 books that were shortlisted last year, and 2 became absolute favorites. Out of the long list, I've only read Brotherless Night, but I do have a few that I'm really interested as well, and this is Between Two Moons, and this is set in Brooklyn, and it is about 2 sisters that are Muslim. It's set in Ramadan. A History of Burning is by a Canadian author, and I have been gunning for this book since before the Booker last year when I wanted it to be on the long list for that. And I find it so interesting because it begins in India and then it goes to Uganda and then goes to Toronto. And I think that immigration kind of trail is barely ever represented in fiction, and I thought that was really cool. Coleman Hill is a great migration story that looks at these people throughout different generations. A Council of Dolls is another book that has been on my maybe list, and there's several other books that I would be excited to see shortlisted. So I'm going to pull up the prize and I'm going to react to it. I don't think they did a video because I can't find it, so I'm just going to Google it. We have our shortlist right here, and we have Eleanor Catton's Burnin' Wood. And I thought about putting this as a potential shortlist thing because it has kind of been on everything. It was on the Booker, it was on the Giller long list and shortlist, which is the Canadian version of the Booker, and then it was on this year's long list. I was like, is it really going to be on the shortlist? It just got so much award recognition, and here it is. I have resisted reading this 800-page tome for a long time, and I'm probably going to still resist it. It is an Audible exclusive audiobook, which also really sucks because otherwise I might have gone through it through audio, but I'm not going to pick up this big of a book as an ebook. And the next book is Daughter. This is a book that I had flirted with the idea of putting on my shortlist predictions, and then I did not. I'm really glad to see it here. I could definitely see myself reading it. The next book is Coleman Hill, and I'm really excited to see this here because I want to read it. And then we have Brotherless Night, which I already finished and really loved. It had a little bit of slow beginning and I was confused, but as we got into the second half, I really enjoyed the book. I don't know if it will also get shortlisted for the Women's Prize, but that's really lovely to see it here. And then we also have A History of Burning, which I am overjoyed to see it here because I've been wanting to read it for quite some time. So yes, I am pretty content with the shortlist. I think that I may read everything but Eleanor Catton's book, which if she continues to do this, she will continue to be represented but not necessarily win. So let me know if you follow the Carol Shields Prize, if you are interested in these books. I would love to hear your thoughts. I think that the book that I'm most excited on this is A History of Burning or Coleman Hill. I also really like Brotherless Night, but it was a little bit of slow beginning, so it's not like my #1 book, but yeah, I'm really excited to see these books.